Veteran Services, 543. I move the budget as presented.
No,
No, personnel.
salaries and expenses.
Okay, we'll discuss those. Karen, you're all set?
Okay. What do we have for any questions?
Let's see. So you took a little decrease in the full-time employees line?
Wait, this wasn't moved correctly.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna move salary of,
Okay, how do I,
we're gonna move salary of $139,475.
okay. Oh, that's a, move a salary, $136,180.
139,475.
$139,475.
Correct.
The total one, Donnie.
Oh,
The total
oh,
personnel.
okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
That's right.
I'll second it.
Okay,
All right.
Seconds it.
all right, discussion on that?
Excuse me.
He's got a different number.
Did the
What do you,
books we got, they changed since we got them?
I don't think so. What do you have?
That says fiscal 22.
I went down to the bottom, Paul. I had my.
Are you in the-
23 should be 139,475.
Oh,
139.
Is that-
You know, that's attention to detail.
That's it, yeah, right?
No, we're not going by their request.
Okay.
We go by the town administrator. and
Right, that's the one I thought I was looking at.
Yeah.
139,475?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
That's
is.
it.
I had the wrong
Yeah,
line.
numbers right.
Scared me.
Any
Oh, he
questions?
read the top line, I see. Yeah, he didn't. Gotcha.
I really don't, other than that there's a small decrease in full-time employee salary?
Right.
Bill retired, so.
Bill retired.
Okay.
And had a part-timer, who's now full-time, but, so there is an offset, but we're all set.
Okay. All right, any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Should we have a
abstained?
second?
What's that?
Should we have a second?
I seconded it.
We did have a second.
For expenses, I move $349,000.
We have a second?
I'll second.
There you go.
And
Any discussion? Another decrease in veterans benefits line?
Yes, and that's fine. We've had some decreases with COVID, and
Okay.
we're prepared for that.
All right, great. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Awesome. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Appreciate it. We get.
Thanks, Karen, you're all
Now,
set.
before we continue on with budgets,
you.
we've got a transfer, so those guys are in. Tom?
thank you.
Here you back. While you guys are
Hey,
waiting.
how are you? Sorry.
Thanks, how you doing? All right,
Thanks.
so, we have a transfer amount requested, $100,000 to be transferred from the reserve fund to be transferred to the Spring Street water main repairs.
Which reserve fund? That's not the advisory board reserve fund.
No, it's the emergency line in the water department budget.
Because you didn't have it in the agenda. I knew what it was.
What did I say? I said from the reserve fund to the.
Right, but they have their own, it's built into the budget.
it's
Okay.
the water reserve fund.
Right. I know, but if we don't specify in the minutes, people will think it's the regular.
Oh, okay. It's on.
So they got three different ones.
Okay. All right, so what is it? It's the, what reserve fund is it then?
It's the water department emergency line item. It's $100,000. Each enterprise fund has a $100,000 emergency line item.
Okay. Okay, we can still vote on this, right?
Right, so what it is for the new people, years ago, they had electricity, pump power, they were using for a slush fund. This is before Tom came here. And to get a handle on it, we decided to make it a number where we would vote on it, but we would never hold them up. It's their money. So they can use it for whatever they want in the course of the year from the budget. So it gives them a little flexibility. So all three enterprise accounts have this. Is it second?
Second.
Do we need to move it specifically from that fund? Do we need like?
Well, that's why I questioned it, just so
Okay,
everybody knew where it was
so
from.
I'm gonna move $100,000 transfer from the waterway department emergency reserve fund. Okay. And transfer it to the Spring Street water main repairs.
Water system.
Water system.
Water, hold on, okay,
Okay.
Jesus. Water system emergency,
Reserve fund.
water system emergency. I'm going to move 100,000 from the water system emergency reserve fund. Are we all good? Everyone's good? Okay. And that's transferred to the Spring Street water main repairs. All right, what do we got?
The purpose of this is, we lost our cross-country line across the marsh in the South River. And we need redundancy, so we need to buy pipe to run the line across Willow Street to tie into South River, and then we're also gonna run a line from, by Molly, through Molly Park to the bridle path down the South River, so that we have adequate fire protection.
Okay.
The purpose of this is, pipe is 40% increase in the cost of pipe, and the time frame is up to 18 months to get it. So it's, we have an opportunity now to get some pipe that's available to us, and we need this transfer in order to do it.
All right, any further discussion? All right. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right.
Can I just ask a quick question?
You may.
With the gas thing going on tonight, is that gonna cost us money other than overtime from the different departments?
There's no overtime for my department. That was a gas company excavation. They hit their own line.
Okay, so you guys don't have to do anything with it, just the police and fire?
Police and fire, yeah, I know they're
Wouldn't that be
evacuating
the
now. They
detail?
hit a 6-inch high pressure main, so it's,
Okay, I'm just curious, because it's in my
Doors down
neighborhood.
you are, right?
You're not alone.
Yeah, yeah, you too.
Yeah, so it's,
They were there all day, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they-
you know, let me say that, I have smelled gas the past 2 weeks. Have you smelled it, Dave, when you?
No.
Mainly, but I've been
Pretty
States,
good
but in the
distance
orchard,
between
but
you
I've
and
been,
me.
I've been smelling it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, so.
so I don't know if it has anything to do with the installation of the gas line for the senior center, but I know that they were doing stuff down
But
there.
they don't look like they're that far down, it looks like it's before Pilgrim Trail.
Oh, okay. So
That's
it's
where I had to
in
take a
between,
run. Yeah, that's where the line
Yeah,
was.
and the senior center.
Oh, well, okay.
But it could be where they have a shut off too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For that service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All
you
right,
got
thank
one.
great, thank
Thanks,
you.
Tom.
Appreciate it, have a nice night, rest of the night.
I suppose it will be time, Dawn, did you, I suppose you might be busy.
We don't
Have you had a chance to go through my question and the reading answer?
Well,
No,
we
no,
just-
I was,
we'll do-
we
no,
were concerned that
we
you
had
were
some
in
of
the
the-
gas.
the items
and
that are
just
yours.
checking.
I literally just
Well,
saw it
Phil,
when I
you
got
can
here.
still meet
No, no,
with
no,
it.
I
We'll cover
called
what we
literally
did.
as you were
Oh,
coming
Corner
in,
of
so
our
I,
two strips, so we asked questions, but I think you should, you
Moving you about a bit.
know,
I'm like,
bring your
oh.
concern, have a meeting with them. We got 2 of them out of the way.
All right, because you didn't respond to my email. I didn't want to drag it down tonight, while he was here. All right, I'll
We may,
follow up.
He might have thought that we,
yeah. Tommy, can we do the Veterans Memorial as long as, and then they were sort
Yeah, you
of,
keep on having me go out of turn here, don't you?
well, I'm sorry, I mean,
No, no, you know,
no, I'm sorry,
Don't you so- Which one is that, what's the number there?
660 was, you know,
Right after it.
right after it.
That's just, okay, there you go.
All right, I move, for personnel, I guess, $12,000.
Have a second?
second,
I would like to say one, although Barney Dowd is retired, his replacement, and forgive me, I forget his name, if they budgeted 12,000, those guys would probably do $20,000 worth of work. It's a labor of love. They're veterans, they just do far more than they are asked to do. And they love to do it.
Awesome.
And if that's on expenses,
Hold on a second, let's
okay.
vote on personnel. Any further discussion on salaries?
second.
We have a second by
I'll second
Susan.
it. Oh, I didn't mean, thank you.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? Okay, Donnie?
I move $9,000 for expenses.
Do I have a second?
second.
Any discussion? None, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? All right, that one passes. All right. Okay, I'm going to just vote on the minutes. Does everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? There really wasn't a whole lot there. It was from 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna move the minutes as written. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain,
Abstain.
abstaining? We have 2 abstaining.
I wasn't there.
right, I'm gonna go in order of the book, all right? And this will be sort of flipping around to people, but I'm gonna go by book, all right. The first one up is 121, which is the moderator.
That's not a budget. It's in the warrant. So you don't have to vote it,
I don't have to vote that.
no.
Here's what I'm gonna decide, I'm not even gonna vote the moderator. That's the type of mood I'm in tonight. All right, there we go. But for everybody to know, the moderator went up because we voted for that at town meeting to go from $92 to $300. Just wanna get the last word. All right, selectmen. The selectmen budget, I move salary of $388,017. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we had a $25,000 increase on the full-time, it was a bylaw, what does this say, bylaw raises, and then $15,000 was, no, sorry, that was the expenses, I got my notes mixed up here, so that's what I have for that $25,000. Any further discussion on that? Yes, what do you got?
Can you repeat the amount?
All right, sure, $388,017.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you,
I
Secretary.
got a question on procedure in a
I
minute.
think Susan did. Okay.
Okay.
They're around you, Paul.
Let's start with Patrick. These elected officials, the other treasurer collector? Okay, so I'll direct it to Jill. All these elected salaries were in a warrant with an article. Okay, but, and they're also in here. Do you want us to vote on them?
Yes.
Do I want you to vote?
Yes, they're a budget item, so they should be voted on.
So no more in the warrant as far as, it's an
Well,
article.
it's two separate things, so you're voting the budget, but in the warrant, you're also, setting the rate for the elected official, but this is the budget, it's a totally separate.
Put the money in
This is the general fund, it's puts the money into all the budgets, so this is a separate
All right.
thing. There are gonna be, you can set the rates and then you vote the budget, but it's
I'm just
two different
try-
things.
I'm just trying to get the,
Yeah.
now on the moderator, then should we vote it then?
You should, yes.
All right, I didn't mean to,
Did you write it, Tom?
well, we used to do it differently.
I've been thinking, and I'd like to vote it.
You want to finish this one?
I want to finish
I'm
this
sorry,
one.
Tom. I'll be
Sorry
quiet.
about that. I was just gonna ask
Hold on,
Michael
hold
afterwards,
on.
but.
8, 9, 10, okay, good. Okay, I move $388,017 for salary. Any discussion further? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. I'm gonna move expenses of $233,692.
Second.
Second there. $15,000 was a decrease in labor council for the billable hours by John, which is different than our town council. Any further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained? All right. I'm gonna go back to moderator. And I'm going to move moderator salary of $300. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? I'm gonna say deja vu, but we voted on that at town meeting to move from $92 to $300.
Right.
So there'll be some discussion there. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, we got moving along. Okay, facilities. Do you have that yet?
Yeah,
Oh, actually, facilities is kind of, it's 123, but it's at the bottom, so let's go,
I can sort of do it.
yeah, let's go facilities. What is that? It's 123, but it's in what?
DPW.
It's what?
It's after utilities, 924, it's
Oh, there
your
it is, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, fifth set of tabs.
Yep, gotcha. That's curveball. Yeah, right, yeah, right.
Where is it,
1, 2,
Tommy?
3.
It's right towards the end, it's
It's towards the end,
123,
it's
it's
DPW.
above,
Oh, it's in the DPW that one, so
920.
it's in the very end. Thank you. Here it is right here. So it's down the back.
All right,
All right,
yep.
go ahead.
I'll move 221,751 for our salaries.
All right, do I have a second?
It's 222.
222.
Did I say 221? Or 222? 222,751, I'm sorry.
It's really small.
Yeah,
I'll second it.
Okay,
Okay.
I didn't meet with anybody,
okay,
however, I came in to do the clerk's budget, I was gonna try to grab Michael.
yep,
I saw him for 2 seconds, I asked him a question. He and Patrick did most of these budgets.
Mhm.
So, because this budget is shared by the schools, and we really don't know what's in there, because there's so many things, between the buildings. I'm just approving it,
Okay,
since he is the one that put it together. Make sense?
yep.
Okay.
All right, let me, wait a second, I just want to. Can you give that to Marie? That might help.
So Keith, you didn't meet with anyone?
That should help.
No, I saw Michael for a minute, and he told me he and Patrick put it together, so I figured
Oh,
because
you have it? Oh,
they had to
okay.
work with the schools, shared 50/50.
We'll get
I'm
it
just
back in the
asking
end,
because of
whatever
that
works
10 to
for you.
20 on the part-time employees.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know who, I got a question mark, and I don't know.
Okay.
Michael said he would answer any questions here, but unfortunately, he's gone. But,
So
We-
Keith,
we
you're
can
saying
get
the
an answer
buildings
for you.
department, facilities maintenance is in
No.
as well as?
no, this budget, when it was created, was 50% schools, 50% town. So the town administrator and the school superintendent both share it. And at one time, I don't know about now, but at one time, the facilities manager was housed in the school department. Okay, because we're trying to sell a concept. So this person or this group of people take care of any problems that the everyday people count. So they're the ones that oversee if they need a boiler, if the roof goes, or whatever goes. So this is really a janitorial fund for the town, more, in simplistic state.
Any further discussion on salaries? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
I'll move 134,6, looks like a 6. 5, is that 622 or 520?
6.
622. It is small.
134, 622. It is.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion? So, straightforward. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. Reserve fund?
Okay, I'll move $100,000.
What number are we on?
We're at 132.
I don't even know if it's in here.
It's,
Actually, I don't see it.
Yeah, I thought I saw it somewhere. Real-
Might be in the back. Doesn't make any sense.
Reserve fund?
It usually isn't in here. It's just one line.
All right.
It's the Aji board's money that we vote on, any unforeseen emergencies that happen, similar to what DPW just did. So generally speaking, the town accountant, the treasurer, or the town administrator, more or less, will tell us what to spend, we vote on it. It gives them a little flexibility. Last year, we had $50,000. This year, we're moving $100,000, because Michael found $50,000 more. It used to be $100,000.
Okay.
That's all right? On the budget? Okay.
All right, any further discussion?
It's down here, it's in the back. Oh, no, wait a minute, sorry.
You found it?
It's all right.
It's here.
Did you have a question on the,
You found $50,000?
No, when they built the budget
Yeah.
this year, it always was $100,000. So somewhere along the line, he found $50,000 in the budget process and put it back to the reserve fund. We used to always have $100,000.
Okay.
If we don't spend it, it goes back to the town. Okay. We don't always spend it. A lot of times, like, some of the big ones that we've done, police department lost their heating system. We had to fund it. That gave them a stopgap, things like that.
Sure. Unexpected items.
Yeah, unforeseen, yeah.
okay. Any discussion, further discussion on reserve fund? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, accounting. Okay, accounting. I move salaries of 200,
What number?
135. We're going back, there's a couple of little scory ones, but we should be all good going forward here. 135 accounting. I move salaries of $246,575.
Second.
All right. And do you want to add anything? I know we talked about it before, I didn't see anything.
No, I know you had a question about the salaries and the
Yeah.
bump. I know that Christine had signed a new contract in fiscal '20 She got a $10,000 bump for being certified. And I believe that there was a contract negotiation, and there were some positions that were reclassed. And I think my assistant, the AP clerk, was moved up a grade.
Okay,
So that would explain some of that.
thank you. Any further discussion? Yes, go ahead.
Could you repeat the number? I'm not seeing it.
That's a different number.
246-575?
246
575.
I'll put it to you.
575.
Personnel.
So that's a summarized, on this one here, you have all the details, so it's 246 is
Thank
the
you,
top
Joe.
number.
Yeah.
And then 99.
Any further discussion on accounting salaries? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Okay, I move accounting expenses of $9,900.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Assessor. Sherry, did you get to that?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to move the $225,433 in personnel.
Do I have a second?
You want me to tell you? I know
Yeah,
it.
sure.
So she lost a staff member, and they are not replacing the, this, you know, this, not
Gotcha.
to replace the person. So that explains the
Decrease,
decrease.
yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained.
And I move the $90,200 in expenses as written.
Do I have a second? Susan, second. Any discussion? Seems to be the same as 22.
Pretty much.
So, all good. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right. Treasurer collector. I move 446,000. No, excuse me, 546,372. I just chopped you by 100. He seemed like such a nice guy until he chopped 100,000. $546,372 in salaries. Have a second?
I'll second.
All right, do you want to talk about it at all, or do you know anything? You've
Not
been
really,
here for a
since
couple
it's my
copies, so-
second week.
Gotcha, yeah.
Beginning of my second week. I know that they had part-time person that they didn't fill, and that is the reason for the decrease for that.
And then there's there what, a couple, there's another person getting education services, is that where that's up 84%? Or is that just more stuff for you?
No, not that I know of. Well, you know, Kathleen.
contractual.
Kathleen is.
Contractual?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kathleen is taking courses. so.
Gotcha. Okay,
And the 35,000 increase of just routine
Full-time.
step up, sorry.
I think
I
Patrick,
think so.
I think Patrick might have got a bump from the last one, and he's gone, but shows up. And depending what she was hired for,
I think a lot of this, from what I found, the differences with the salary increases is sort of the band and width things that we voted on at
Yeah.
the last town meeting with the steps and ladders.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know,
That's what I figured.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, any further discussion on salaries? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, I'm going to move expenses of $27,592.
Second.
And the big one was the professional services that went from $200,000 down to $15,000.
Right, we still have one person hoping to get rid of the books.
Okay.
Actually, no change from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, audit OPEB, which is actually way down in, where's that? It's, here we go, it's at 940, so it's way down sort of towards the end. Everybody have that?
yeah.
940 is unclassified, okay,
Why don't I move the top that's on the unclassified?
okay.
Okay. I'll move $1,000 for salaries.
Second.
Okay, that's our secretarial pay?
Right.
What's this number showing? It's number 940.
It's on the top of the OPEB and all that.
Yep. Okay, we have a second on that?
Okay, yeah,
All
I
right,
see.
thank you. Any discussion? Seeing all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
I'll move 30,000 expenses.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Most of these are either for town meeting or things that Michael needs in the course of doing business, like the drug testing and everything on new hires. So he pretty much controls this budget.
Yep. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
You have the rest.
Okay, that's the OPEB. I have the OPEB, annual audit OPEB payroll services expense line item of $117,000.
Second.
Second, that just seems to be the same as from 22. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Seeing none, so if favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, perfect. All right. All right, now we're back up to legal. Court, did you,
Yeah, there's no salary or personnel associated with this. Do I need to formally move the zero figure?
No.
No.
Okay, so then I move $110,000 for expenses for legal. This is unchanged since
We have
2020.
a second, or Susan second? Okay.
That'll be my document.
There you go, all right. We're gonna go to
It's
Susan.
unchanged, it's just estimated cost for Galvin, cost
Yep.
fees and the like.
Yeah, whenever they need more money, it's like reserve fund or town meeting.
Yeah.
If a case comes up or they're doing something.
Yeah, I know with the, when we had the beach thing, like the old action,
Yeah.
that was sort of back and forth, there's how much money they needed. So, any further discussion on that? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. Human resources. All right, I move expenses, I move salaries of $108,620.
Second.
All right. Full-time went up 11, it was a contractual,
Yeah, that's what mine
Just
said.
trying to see when
Yep, as well as the part-time. It's still not a lot of money. Further discussion?
Part-time must be somebody new, because it went from 0 to something.
Yeah.
7,500
What'd you say on the 11, was that paying with?
contractual pay increase.
Yeah, we voted that, it's a big chart that we voted on, and it's sort of like when your steps, and then you sort of move over, and, step 12, band 5, whatever, and you sort of get your raise that way, so. Any further discussion on that? Seeing none, so in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. I move expenses of $8,000.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Okay, MIS-IT. I move salaries of $271,763.
Second.
How many people is
They
full-time?
they added one, so now there's 3.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Yep, 271,763, 271,763.
And what is that one for?
That is for information technology,
Okay, IT.
IT salary.
155.
All right? Any further discussion?
So the 88 is the added
It's the
employee?
new.
Yeah, new employee, yeah. Last year they added one. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, I move expenses of $101,048.
Second.
Oh, damn, Susan, see what happened there? Just good job.
Yeah, be quick.
You got water over there to keep your throat quenched and
Hydrated.
everything?
I agree, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Pretty much the same as last year. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, town clerk.
Yep.
All right,
Okay. I move
Excuse me.
the salaries 187, 100.
all righty.
Second.
Is this contractual pay increases on these full
No.
and part-time? No?
Well, some of it is, the elected official went up, we gave her a raise.
Yep.
And then town meeting bumped it up even more, if you remember.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
That's right.
I'm sorry, is
Well
this
deserved.
Yeah.
under town clerk?
Yeah,
Yes.
town
Right,
clerk.
Town clerk, yeah.
Yeah,
The full and part-time employees, Keith, what do you?
it must be contractual.
Okay.
There's at least 2 people in that office
Mhm.
that have to watch it when she goes to meetings or whatever.
Right. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
I'll move $4,000 for expenses.
Second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, education's town,
No,
elections, right?
elections.
Elections, okay. I read education or something.
Yeah. Okay, I'll move $15,000 for salaries.
Second?
Pretty much the same all the time.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
I'll move $31,300 for expenses.
Second?
Okay, she's gonna be short money. When I spoke to her, the elections didn't have enough money, and she has 3 coming up this year. So she did speak to Michael, I saw her tonight, and Michael's gonna make sure she gets enough money to do it, so we can support this.
Okay,
Okay, I can handle it.
all right. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, conservation?
You aware of that?
No, I just heard.
Okay. It's
Do you know,
prob-
do you know the amount, or?
I think she said it's 20 or 30,000. It'll probably be done in an article, I guess, at the town meeting, in the special. Okay.
All right, I move conservation salaries of $233,650.
Second?
All right. They over budgeted from last year, which is the difference of the 75, 65, so now it's a number that Bill Grafton is more comfortable with. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
That's the first time since I've been on the board that someone has hit it over budget.
Yeah.
Never heard that.
I wrote it down, I'm like, no kidding, I've never written that down on a piece of paper before. Okay, I move expenses of $12,565.
Second?
All right, yeah, no comments there. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right, did you get in touch with the planning board, Mark?
I did.
All right. Okay,
So I move salaries, personnel expenses of $196,332. The increase,
wait a second.
Second.
talked to Michael Maresco and Greg Iman, the increases to the full-time employees are just contractual step increases, and so is the education, that's a contractual part of the union contract.
All right. Any further discussion?
Why is that? Education is
I
contracted.
think it's part of the union.
It's in the union contract.
negotiation.
And they increased the education incentive in the union contract.
Okay.
Sometimes it's even in their, if a department head requests it and they negotiate, they could even do it that way too.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
I move $2,600 in expenses.
Second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye. Opposed, abstained? Police. I move salary of $6,318,501.
Second?
All right. They have 47 officers funded this year, holiday education, contractual. There's 3 discretionary line items, which are overtime, court time, and training. And they just sort of figure out what that number could be based upon what they have, so coupled with that. Any further discussion?
So that number's, that's kind of a variable number depending on the need.
Yeah, like when we had the murder a few years ago, right, there was a lot of court time for that, so if they can, if they have something that they know they're gonna have a lot of court time with, then they sort of can budget it for that, but like, not knock on wood, right? So, any further discussion on salary? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, I move expenses of $204,832. All right, and that's level funded from last year. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. And,
Tommy, quick question.
Yeah, what do you got?
Are we correct in assuming April 1st, they're gonna be in that new police station? That's the date I heard.
Really? I don't know.
Look at it.
May.
May?
May? God, that's still,
That's
when you
awesome.
look, they're gonna have to,
Not that far away.
I know, that's.
Right.
you
I
look-
think Michael's gonna arrange for you guys to get a visit. I think he mentioned that
Good,
today.
yeah.
And,
Oh, good.
That would be
Field
nice.
We have to get like
Yeah.
parents to
Just
sign
seems
off.
The school kids will sign up.
Everybody bring a lunch.
Permission
I'm
slip.
not-
Before we go in the other
I'm
door,
not
you know.
sharing. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's,
All right,
Yeah, that's great.
okay, we're
Yeah,
not gonna do
we-
fire, buildings on,
A year or
Mark, are
two
you good with
away.
that, or?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't realize. So I move $400,516 for personnel expenses.
I'm sorry, where are we?
We
I
are at
apologize.
241
We are
building
at
inspection.
241.
Oh,
Okay, thank
did we
you.
skip
Sorry about
fire?
that.
We skipped fire.
I'll skip fire, okay.
I connected with Michael about this. Those increases are again contractual and step increases.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay.
I move $10,540 for expenses.
Do I have a second?
Second. Well,
Any further discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? That's right, typically the fire comes here to present fire in school, and if we had fire like on the books today, they wouldn't have showed anyway, because I'm sure they're
Gas
at
leaks?
the gas leak, right? So, all right, Keith's favorite budget, sealer weights and measures.
yeah, I'll move $5,000
Do I have a second?
for expenses.
Second.
All right.
This is, we use the state to do this, so we save a lot of money.
Awesome, all right. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
What we pay the state?
Yeah, they have someone that comes down and checks it, I don't know how often, but we used to have to hire someone, it costs a lot more money.
It does.
Like gas station.
Sounds like that.
Yeah.
And you have to buy equipment.
Yeah.
If you ever look, there used to be a display with all the old equipment and
Oh, really?
do a big scale,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained? All right. Animal control. I move, I move expenses first. I move salaries of $109,600.
I'll second it, Tom.
All right, and they have a new employee there for the park, and they're having a hard time filling the slots, so. And so it was one full-time, now they have two part-time, now they have two full-time and no part-time.
So say that again, Tom, I'm sorry,
I believe they
two?
have, even though there's a part-time line, it's sort of like now two full-timers. Full-time went up and down, part-time went up. They're having a hard time sort of filling it when somebody took off, right? And somebody always has to be there, which is, I'm not sure why that.
Somebody was sick last
Going back
year.
into my discussion, right,
The head person was sick last year. I don't
Is that right?
know, I don't know if she's still there, but,
But it's like, it's a 24/7 place, so,
yeah, that's thankless job.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. I want to move expenses of $24,655.
Second.
Right. And I'm not sure if you've ever been there, but it's like, I mean, it's like analysts, as you know, your own house can beat up on places. It's, you know, it's almost surprising it's 24,000 and not like 240,000. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Animal inspector, I move salary of $5,000. Which is level funded from last year. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, there are no expenses. Harbor Master. I move Harbor Master salaries of $114,080.
Second.
All right, and most of the salary items here become from part-time because Mike DeMayo, as the harbor master, gets paid from the police budget.
Got it.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. I move expenses of $38,454.
Second.
And that was level funded as well. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Do I move the department capital budget? Do I move that line? Do I
Probably.
move the improvements in the floats?
Yeah, it's part of their budget.
Okay, thank you. I move the department capital line item of $13,840.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right, we're skipping schools, which gives us the DPW administration. I didn't know where you guys were on the.
I'm all set with that one.
Okay, so the, let's go with the engineer one for 411, 411.
Well, how
What about
about 400?
administration?
400, what is it?
Yeah, we're good.
What did I look at?
We're
I'm
ready.
sorry, my bad, 400. Thanks. Jumping ahead, Donnie.
Sorry,
Okay,
well, that's good.
okay.
Personnel, I move $182,922.
I'll second it.
If you notice, it went from 143 to 161,000. That was just Tom Reynolds and Dan Bowen's pay raises.
Okay.
Right.
It's contractual, right?
Contraction, that's as simple as that.
So that 12% is just for those two
That's
raises?
for two.
This is for
Yeah.
two,
It's contractual.
it's contractual.
Okay. That was one of my questions.
Yes.
Yep, that is
yes.
contractual. And the sick leave incentive, if anybody had a question there, that's just, it's a buyback. So the less you use, you can buy it back, so
Okay.
that's what that is.
Gotcha.
Do these, well, I guess, is that a new program this year? 'Cause that was my other question.
I believe that's
Yeah.
also in the contract this year. They didn't, obviously, they didn't have a budget before, but I believe the new DBW contract has that.
I'm pretty sure it's a newer program too.
Yeah.
We talked about that, because there was nothing in the budget. And so it is a way of giving incentive for them
Yeah.
to not use as much sick time. They have the opportunity now to buy back.
Well, I've used that
Scale.
before, though, it usually pays for itself if more,
What's that?
right?
Yeah.
So this one,
It's a good program.
that expense covers the cost of overtime. All right.
So that's what we're looking at.
So that's the same with all these sick leaves across the whole,
Yeah, as you come across, yeah, it's a contractual.
the reason I wasn't able to make the meeting, those are my questions.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
All right, expenses, I move $11,858.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Level funded. Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Yep. All right, DPW engineering?
That was I wasn't at the I wasn't able to make the meeting, but the only question I had again was on full-time employees, so I assume that's contractual.
We did make a note on that, that was contractual, the
Yeah.
difference.
So it's all four engineers. They were upgraded and they provide services to the enterprise accounts.
Yeah.
All right, can you
All right, so I'll
move that number, move the number, Paul?
I'll move to 126,509 for personnel.
All right.
Paul, I'm gonna give this to you so
Do I
that
have
you
a
have
second?
that
Second.
information there.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
You guys talked expenses, I mean, it's level set from what
Level
we did this
funded.
year, so I'll move it as is, it's $25,944 for expenses.
Do we have a second? Second. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
And there's no cap.
All right, capital, all right, 421 highway?
I move personnel 874 $944.26. No, mine's at 26 cents in there, but it is.
Very specific.
A second.
And on that one, the increase was for, they filled an unfunded, it's filling an unfunded position. That's why the personnel, full-time employees went up, they added a person.
Okay. And then standby pay?
Standby pay, it's as an on-call person, and they explained that, depending on who's called. So we assume that if you're called and you're at a higher rate than Keith, then that's why they have to do it, because it depends on who they call and what his
Oh, okay.
salary, what
You
his
have to
rate
plan
is.
for the highest
of-
salaried
Yeah.
personnel that could be called.
That's right.
So when you say call, that was my question on that, was,
They take the phone home for the weekend or when they're off hours, and I know this because my son works for a highway department and has the phone. And if something happens, like a deer, they have to go pick it up or whatever, there's a car accident they have to clean up, they call that person that's on call and they go take care of the situation.
okay, so if they're not called, this is the dollars we spend,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah.
What,
If they're called, they get paid,
but
but if
even
not,
if
just
they're
to
not
have
called,
them.
Even if-
they get
yeah.
something, they get something.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
what this is,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to
you know,
take the
give us
phone
some-
home.
Yeah, take the, yeah.
Yeah, because they're on call.
They're on
So
call,
they
I
have, so
mean-
they get compensated for the fact that they're on call,
Yeah.
even if they don't have to go out.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So if they go
That
out,
time
it's
is-
on and they go,
Yeah,
regular.
you gotta
Right,
have.
because they probably have to stay within a certain
Right.
radius
Yeah,
of
they
the
can't.
Yeah,
town.
there's
and-
restrictions.
They're not gonna be in that ad.
No drinking.
Yeah.
No drinking.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
I know,
that's-
yeah.
That's why they get the
Playing
compensation.
Keno.
Makes sense.
All right, any
I've
further
been on the other
discussion
end of that.
on that? All right, seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Expenses? Paul, you doing expenses too? Or was it Donnie?
It's Donnie.
Who's doing?
Johnny.
I move expenses of $153,008.
All right. Do I have a
And no,
second?
no pennies.
I'll second it.
All right. All right, looks level funded. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained? All right, snow and ice is actually not affected, right? It's not-
You can do it maintenance.
I get-
Maintenance is next.
Yeah, right, I'm looking at my list, I've got snow and ice and fuel, but maintenance is this one. Gotcha.
Oh,
You're right, stone ice is 423.
I got a blow, but whatever.
Oh, right, it's not in America. I won't blame you. But,
Yeah,
next
I
time.
didn't put it
Okay.
I might.
So you know where the bar is
I'm not
for
doing
next
this.
year.
Right, exactly, yeah. I know I'm not blaming it. All right, DPW maintenance?
DPW maintenance. All right, I moved in salary, 236,636.
Second.
And they, if you notice there's a drop,
Yep.
and what they did is they took a mechanic away and moved him to the fire department. Evidently, the fire department is now going to maintain some of their vehicles.
Okay.
And this person will be the maintenance person. That's why there was a drop in
Okay.
the salary right there.
He'll work for the fire department now
So
instead of...
is it almost like an $80,000 position, like 40 here and 40 at the fire? Is that, wouldn't that make more sense?
Well, what the town, the mechanic is going to the fire department, and he's gonna care for 20 vehicles. We assume that he'll be under the jurisdiction of the fire department. So there's 20 less vehicles that the highway will take care of, and they're going to fire.
Okay.
Gotcha.
My assumption would be they moved it from the maintenance budget to the fire budget.
Interestingly, the fire budget goes up 60,000 for equipment maintenance. From 0 to 60. So they got
Well,
20
Well, yeah,
more
but
from somewhere.
they never had to maintain their vehicles until
No, I
now.
know, it's just that it went down by 40 here, but up by 60 in fire.
Okay.
So they found 20 somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're gonna go really fast. Any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. We have expenses.
I'm moving expenses, $185,084.
Second, give me 60,000.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And that just,
There it is.
there it is right there, that explains it.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Maintenance, okay.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Cemetery tree and greens.
It's me. I move the request of $655,751 in personnel.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Any questions?
Contractual.
Yes, contractual increases, and there's one more, okay.
Uniforms.
Uniforms, so basically that's not gonna be enough for them. He said, you know, that's something that they have to provide to the workers, and he said this is a year that they have to, you know, they're getting new uniforms. He said it's $800 a year per uniform, and he said it's not gonna be enough for the number of employees that they have. So it's gonna have to come out of a line somewhere that there's a surplus, they're gonna make it work. They're gonna make it work. But basically, this number is actually lower than what they need it to be. The
So every
87.
so many years, they get a new set of uniform.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Is it like Dickies in a shirt, or there may be something
No,
different for like, for cemetery,
might-
I mean, for
I'm sure it's
funerals?
in their contract.
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure-
is
sure it is.
contractual. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Any further
They
discussion?
haven't gotten any in a long time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they close it pretty
Yeah.
tattered. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
Expenses.
Some things they must buy for salaries, and other things we must give them.
No, it's just, uniforms are in
Right.
salaries, but then they're also in,
Right, but some of it's
In the
in,
expenses.
some of these union contracts, you get paid whether you use it or not. And then other things they must give out as part of the job.
That they purchase something,
Well, I don't know, but, I don't know
Some
how
of
it
it's
works.
reimbursement,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the.
and you can't do a reimbursement out of a salary line, so there's two separate lines, because
Oh,
one
okay.
is the contractual, like stipend
Yeah.
for uniforms, and then, the rest of that is reimbursable, or what, or if they, you know, buy it from a approved vendor, it comes out of that line.
Gotcha. All right.
And then I move $225,678 in expenses as written.
All right. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
All right. All filled out, each one. Looks good. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. Snow and ice. Did we vote on this? Because we actually just had the increase for that to the weekend, right?
Well, it's actually here. Their budget's 400,000.
Right. But they're meeting in a couple of weeks to get more because of the storms. Yeah.
Why don't you move it out, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Who actually has that?
I do.
Okay, what'd you move that?
I didn't have any questions on this. I'll move the $107,100 for personnel.
All right. Do I have a
Level
second?
set.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
On expenses, I move.
All right, hold on, let me vote. Any discussion, further discussion on salary?
No.
Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
Snow and ice.
Okay, snow and ice expenses?
Expenses, I move $292,900.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
On the snow removal, they throw that in every year. If they get a bad year, they're gonna get money.
Yeah,
else.
they- They're going in, do you know what the number is? I have the email, but. they're
I
going-
don't remember what, I thought it's 200 or 250.
Yeah, so we get storms, we're killer because.
right.
It's all over.
Yeah, yeah, we have no money, so, okay. Any further discussion on
Yeah.
expenses?
Yeah, okay, so for the new people, snow and ice is level funded year to year. it's awful hard to decrease because it affects the tax rate, but you can increase it as much as you want during the year. So we'll end up paying, whether it be reserve fund, whether it be the end of the year numbers, but it always has to be paid before the new tax year starts, or we get hit with a big bill from the state. It's not cost efficient, but we've always been able to fund it. So you don't know what Mother Nature's gonna do. I mean, and the storms that are during the day don't cost us anything because the guys just go to work. But at night, you got overtime, on weekends, you also are hiring people to go with their pickup trucks or whatever. So they just don't know. You very rarely do that we save money on this. There's always sanding or something to do.
All right. Any further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. You?
Which one are we going to?
Fuel,
424.
424.
I haven't had to meet with anybody on this. Keith, are you familiar with this, that I would move it as is?
I would.
Yeah.
And price of gasoline is going up anyways, so you're probably gonna get hit with some kind of transfer.
All right.
Yeah, similar to snow, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll move to 353,568.
Have a second? Second. Any discussion?
And on this one though, this one's a little different, because this one you can actually fund exact monies. You can go up and down.
Expenses. Okay, not personal.
Well,
Yeah, right.
you can go up and down in this one.
Yeah.
This one you don't get penalized, but you want to be as close as possible. But unfortunately, the gas, every time you turn around, the station's higher lately. So we'll end up hitting some of that.
I was out in California a few weeks ago, $5
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frisco's the highest, they say, in the country.
Down in Florida, it's
I feel so
$5
lucky.
at the dock.
Yeah, lucky.
$5 at the dock?
Cheaper here than the EU.
Boat
Yeah,
gas.
that is true. By the court.
There.
That's cheap.
Any,
For boat cats, that's
any
cheap.
further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
There's no vote on the personnel.
Okay, we are at Board of Health. Board of Health. All right, I move expenses, excuse me, again, I'm like Oprah. I move salaries of $330,691.
Second.
You can have it. I just do it automatic.
Exactly, right. So let's see, we had an assistant director, they went to a director, there's not an assistant, but an associate now, everything's, I mean, it's only with that 1.2%. So, any further discussion on salary? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Board of Health expenses, I move $16,110.
Second.
All right, and they have just the consulting services that they didn't have in '22, but they always had before.
Okay.
What is that, Tom? Do you know what it is for?
That was, I think it was the consulting, part of it was the people going into restaurants, and then it was a hold back on the COVID,
Yeah.
so now they need them back
Gotcha.
again, so,
I was just curious.
yeah. Any further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, Council of Aging, I move salary of $483,016.
Second.
All right. There we go. Yeah, so there was an increase, I couldn't get the answer on why it went from from 21 up to, sort of a bigger increase, not so much from 22 to 23. Actually, and I think it was...
21 to 22, Tom?
Yeah, that's right, man, 21 to 22, and now it's sort of almost close to, level funded. But I think it is what it is, so. Any further?
Have any idea how many people involved in it?
I don't,
Most of those people are volunteers.
yeah,
There are GATRA, they have to pay for
they have
the
a,
local GATRA,
right,
or whatever they call
We
it.
have a special revenue.
they have a
fund.
food service manager, and now they have a part-time receptionist because it's getting so busy there as well, so.
I'm short of 328, I would think, which was 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't somebody retire and they're hiring a new person too?
I think Carol Hamilton's been there for a while.
Yeah, she's still there,
Yeah.
You know, her assistant, I think.
maybe.
So maybe that made a difference in the numbers.
All right. Any further discussion on salary? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Expenses, I move $30,100 in expenses.
Second.
It's pretty much the whole funded from before. Any further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right, we do the veterans, now we're at library. All right, I move salaries of $656,294. All right, and,
Good, so it's basically
Do we lose
contractual.
someone?
yeah, and so they had they had substitutes that they had, that obviously it wasn't open, so that's why there's a $35,000 decrease in that. But they'll probably do a fiscal year 23 request that may be coming back, but not right now. All right, any further discussion on salary? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. I move library expenses of $172,500.
Second.
All right, and that is, the books and periodicals and the network service has gone up, but they need a certain number. It has to be like 13.5% of the budget needs to be material to get, to be okay with the state, to get funding and things like that. So that's why that number's moved up. They're trying to always sort of move that number up so we don't lose out. All right?
Yep.
Any further discussion on expenses? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Just a
Yep.
second. They bump up their books and periodical spending to get more grant funding?
We have to spend a certain level, whatever the threshold is.
It's a percentage, I don't know what the percentage is, but
Oh,
She
we
told
get-
me 13.5.
we're required to spend a certain percentage of
Oh,
their
we lose-
budget on that.
Oh, we lose money.
Right, so we're like in the old colony network, I think it's sort of all connected. Then you can't share with other libraries and things like that, so.
And Cindy would be all over us if we went below the threshold. She's met with us before about
Yeah,
this.
Okay.
So,
I would, I could stuff from all the libraries.
What's that?
I would be all over you. I get stuff from all the libraries. all
yeah,
over
well,
the place.
it really is great when you, they have it, hang them, and it's there in a couple of days. So,
Yeah.
From Boston, from everywhere.
yeah, right? Okay, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of expenses, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? It's not very, all right. Yeah, we already did veterans, we got historical. I move historical expenses of $3,880.
Second.
All right, level funded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? We did that as well. It's kind of funny, $102 million budget, and Clem Flats went down, and Phil Tavares got Mike DeMayo on the speaker and the phone, and I'm like, I really don't, it's not that important, but I'm just kind of curious. I say it's always been like $2,000, went down to $1,000. Mike was sort of unaware of it.
I believe it's still close to the flats.
Is that's what I figured it was? Yeah, so I'm going to move, I thought I should have moved it first. I'm going to move 1,000 in personnel for Clem Flats.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing those, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained. I move expenses of $1,000 in Clem Flats.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing those, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right, debt. Okay, it's, I'm going to move the principal inside debt, $2,576,735.65.
Second.
All right. Okay, it's so it went down, which is a good thing as we move more debt off of what we borrowed for the schools, the police, the DPW bond, right, Mike's?
Yeah, there were some retirements of some of the older debt too,
Okay.
so
And,
that's the decrease.
and the tax rate per thousand went down as well. All right, any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. And I
Maria has a
move-
question, Tom.
What's that?
Sorry, nothing budget.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm sorry, what was the name of that?
Debt service.
That's
It's
debt service.
Inside.
700, and then there was an inside debt limit of principal, and I'll move the interest of $775,934.71.
Second.
And then obviously that went down as well. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, assessments, state and county.
You need to vote the outside.
Oh,
There's
my
no
bad, I
one
missed one.
I got a question. Who's Joe Fleming?
Oh,
He was the interim treasurer collector.
his
Oh,
name
okay.
shouldn't be on
His,
there.
yeah, it should be on there.
He was on-
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, but he didn't do the budget, it was,
No, Patrick and Michael.
yeah,
I just never saw that name before.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, my bad. I'm going to move the outside debt limit principal of $3 million.
It's number,
You got it? You all set, Marie?
It's the second page of
it's
the
number,
debt.
second page of the debt.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
$3,692,750.
Second.
All right. And that was just it.
Did I get some insight on the inside versus outside debt?
Outside the Proposition 2.5 and inside,
Would you like the debt exclusion?
yeah.
So outside is Proposition 2.5?
I
Is,
think it's opposite.
So, yeah, I think it's outside the proposition 2.5. is-
Outside.
and Inside is within that,
Within
that limit.
okay.
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? I move interest of $2,325,208.47.
Second.
All right, and that obviously goes along with the outside stuff. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, and I'm going to move the other debt service of $24,930.56.
Second.
And that's gone down quite a bit. I must have missed this page when I went through it with Michael, sorry.
It's all right. It's fixed.
Yeah,
There's nothing we
Probably
can do.
glued them together.
Yeah, it's
you know.
something, you know?
We have no control over
Maple
this.
syrup on my
Short-term debt
hands.
increase?
Yeah, any further discussion? Seeing none,
I
those in
assume we're
favor-
taking out, using the credit card a little more here for the 150% increase on the.
This is
short-term.
just on debt. This
Yeah.
doesn't have anything to do
Nothing
with
to
the
do with
credit cards.
card.
Yeah.
We do get
Oh,
more.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was being a wise guy?
We're like, no, not credit cards.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right, assessments, state and county. All right. I move state assessments at $1,291,168.10.
What's with the change this year? We usually don't do that.
We don't usually do what? Move?
Change.
Uh,
$6.
You won't,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think you'll see this in a
10
while.
cents. Yeah, the 10 cents.
For keeping
Yeah.
the.
I think it's
This will
a
probably
sense.
look a little bit different next year.
Yeah, no, I think it's a computer system.
Yeah. So you get some sped, you get the charter school assessment, you really, we're obligated to pay for that as a town, so you don't, people move in, they want to go to charter school, there's nothing you can really do. So that never could actually go really huge, could go down, you don't really know. Any further discussion on state assessments?
Why did it go up?
Interesting, the
Good.
variance, right?
Yeah. Right, and so like, even like with like special education, like if a family moved to town that had some children would need a lot of services, whether it's, in-house or whether they have to, be at a certain facility where they would be like an intake facility, you, as a town, you have to pay that. So sometimes you don't know what that number's gonna be. And so with charter school, with people, I would guess it would, with COVID, sent their kids to maybe charter school, maybe there's some, different masking policy or something like that, just sort of like how people are sending their kids to, like DC High or RTs or something like that. But you don't really know what that number's going to be, you're sort of taking a guess as to what you think that number's gonna be with that sort of a moving.
So that number kind of depends on the.
Yeah, so like right now, it's
Yeah.
like it's 775, right, that number could be 500,000 next year, it could be $1 million, it's kind of hard to see who's going to charge those.
forecast.
It's part of the state budget process, so we get estimates every time they vote it. And it can change, you know, based on what whoever is voting it at the time, it's the governor's budget, but it's based off of that.
So that estimate is based on state guidance? Ready, Joe?
We have no control anyway.
All those in favor, any
Aye.
further discussion on state assessments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, I move county assessments of $110,000.
Second.
All right, now second and level funded, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained? Take the stuff out of the oven. All right, assessments, we have reclassified, which we already did.
Utilities looks like next.
Right? Yeah, no, I've unclassified for utilities.
Well, we did.
We did.
Yeah, right, yeah, gotcha, okay, all right.
That's when you do the OPED and all that.
Yep, gotcha. Okay, I can,
Looks like there's just one number.
yeah, right, I know that, it's a total department budget, utilities, electrical, communication of $470,494.25.
Second.
Second. And I think just an increase based upon utility prices. So, any further discussion?
What is the name of that department?
Utilities, electricity, and communications, it's
Okay.
Department 924. All right. And any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Facilities, let's see, general insurance, what number is this?
900?
Yeah, do we already do 900 now, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Budget 94.
yeah, okay. I'm going to move the general insurance line of $1,334,747.06.
Number 900.
You asked about the 6 cents?
What's that? I was kind of taken aback, I gotta be honest
We
with you.
should be
It's like,
rounded.
whoa, that's not right.
I'll second that.
Okay. It's all about the general insurance has gone up because of the value of the buildings and the insurance of said buildings, so. All right, any further discussion?
Nope.
Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, I move retirement of $7,507,920. All right, we have a second. So that's up 10.7%. Michael said that the Plymouth County believes that by 2028, that will be fully funded, and that will not be a line item any longer.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what Patrick said.
Yep,
It's kind of hard to believe. I mean, I hope it's true.
it's awesome.
Yeah, okay.
By 2028, Tom?
2028, yeah.
I'll probably go on by then.
Yeah. No kidding. I don't know. All right, any further discussion on that? Seeing
We'll call
none.
you in Florida.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's gone.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. All right, we have employee benefits. I move $7,870,540.12.
Second.
All right. Fairly fully, so there's some talk about whether they're going to sort of offer, high deductible health plans. I think that's in the works, and so they can, people want to do that if they're healthier, because in Marshfield, it's a 50-50 town. So I know when my wife was a principal and I then laid off, it's expensive. It's like $14,000 before you spend a dime on medical and dental for your family. So it's not, certainly not cheap, so hopefully.
When you have your own business, you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That was the highest fixed cost.
Right, really.
I did have a question on the medics. Isn't that, a little ways from that, isn't that paid by the person, not, is the supplementary?
Well, there's a portion that the town pays for.
I'm guessing it's a 50-50 split on that, so.
I think all our stuff is 50/50
Yeah.
on that. They get the employee gets a choice of so many, but and
No, medics would be a
Medics is a
retiree.
Medics is a
retiree, but they
retiree.
still
Yeah.
have it's still covered,
They get
a
some,
percentage covered by the town.
okay, so their supplemental was covered.
Yes.
With their pension plan. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
abstained? All right, I move other of $1,025,000.
Second.
All right, that's just a $25,000 increase on that for unemployment and Medicare. Any further discussion on other? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. We don't do the enterprise, right? Nope, right?
well, you're gonna have to vote at some point for the budget, I mean, for the warrant, but I don't know if we have to vote tonight.
So
Should they go to the
that
CPCs?
other was under Medicare? Is it on the sheet, it's not clear?
Other
Other is Medicare.
is unemployment and Medicare, but it's a,
Under 900,
Number 900, and is that,
so we have general, retirement, employee benefits and other.
okay.
it wasn't listed there, Maureen, on
No.
that sheet?
It's probably summarized.
You know what, I would wait for Michael on the enterprise in case there's discrepancies.
Okay.
We're gonna have to vote it, but.
Oh, 1025.
Right, so we-
I thought it
Whoa,
said.
whoa, whoa. So make that two.
All right,
I'm not very good at this.
let's call this,
Yes.
what's today?
You're a week behind, but
Well, we can have,
No. Inside my head, this made perfect sense.
okay.
All right, Carlos wants to know if fire and schools could be scheduled for February the 22nd, which would be a week from today.
I'm not available, but
I'm not
obviously go
available.
ahead.
You're not available?
I'm
That's what
not.
it
School
is.
vacation.
Yeah, big amount.
I know, okay.
So we have to,
Okay, what, yeah, that's fine. So let's, because we really only have those plus the reserve, so that's, and
Fire.
then typically
Yeah,
fire and school. Fire and
Yeah.
school, so.
fire and school, I'm
So the
sorry,
two-
fire and
the two
school.
Jeffs-
Enterprise.
The two Jeffs will come in.
And the
Right.
enterprise.
But then we'll talk to, then Michael will probably be available then to talk in case there's numbers have moved at all, right? So that'd be.
I would think,
like
yeah.
5 budgets, right?
Yeah, I mean, it only takes a minute, but make sure the numbers are in agreement.
March 1st, does that work for anybody?
Works for me.
Works.
What day of the week?
It's a
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Okay,
and it's the first day of Women's History Month, just in case anyone wants to
Oh,
know.
Excited.
there we
It's on my
go.
phone.
very good.
All right, does March 1st work for everybody, 6:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I will put something together.
you just open all your calendars that fast.
It's a iPhone, it's new, it's pretty
No, you
quick.
got your work calendar, you get.
No,
personal
she has
calendar.
the newest of all, but
I know, I can't even,
Wow.
yeah, I can't even open it without doing that. What do you
know,
have?
they gotta
Fingerprint
fix it.
anymore.
They have to fix it.
13.
Oh,
I just got the 13th, but I.
You said March 2nd?
First, Rick,
I got
March
the
first.
13th.
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
I got
Oh, you got
the
the big one?